the hedgehogs and the ijstervark, what do you call that? The animals with the spines, not the hedgehogs, but the... I feel so silly now. Anybody in chat, please help me.
No, that's Australia.
Please, no, that's the one in Australia. No, not, but we saw some earlier. It's an animal with very long spines and even porcupine. That's it, porcupine. Yeah, so sometimes our mind just draws a blank. Porcupine. Who was that? Bluebird. Thank you anyway. Yeah. You probably thought of it before me, but between typing it and it traveling all the way here, I just remembered it. Yeah, and you'll see that actually they're very different animals from different groups, but they've developed to look very similar to make use of the same available opportunities. So that's actually quite an interesting concept, and that's why with DNA research, animals that look similar are sometimes very distinctly related or far away, and other animals that you would never think turn out to be very closely related, like the rock hyrax and the elephant, and other example I said earlier is the hippopotamus and the cetaceans, so the whales and the dolphins are actually very closely related, which is something you wouldn't say, but if you really go look in detail in the bone structure and you check their DNA, then it turns out that they're very closely related actually. So that's actually, well, I find that quite fascinating. As soon as you start digging deeper, you find surprises everywhere. Echidnas, yeah, that's the. Yeah. I think echidnas is one of the favorite animals of David Attenborough, because it was one of the animals he managed to find, I think, very early in his career, if I remember correctly. And I think actually there might even be one that has a second part of its scientific name is Attenborough or something like that, or Davidi, or I'm not sure. That's somehow named after him, I believe, just in honor of him. Yeah, echidna and birds of paradise. Those are David Attenborough's two main bird species, I think. And yeah, and if you watch, actually, if you go to YouTube, there's so much also just little snippets of David Attenborough and things like that. And it's actually quite a funny one. If you would go to YouTube and you search on Attenborough and then lyrebird, lyre spelled L-Y-R-E bird. Then you'll find the original clip, which is actually quite fascinating in itself. The lyrebird is the master of imitation. It can imitate cameras, chainsaws, and other things. But somebody had a little bit of fun with that video, and actually in that video as well, taking a little bit the Mickey of David Attenborough, and it's actually quite funny. So if you go look for those words, I'm sure you'll be able to find that. And actually, it's quite a funny little clip, I think.
Some people have seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, the original is amazing, and the spoof is quite funny actually. There's the two geese again. Karen earlier said that they have been seen doing the naughty thing, so to say. So we're going to assume indeed that they are male and female. Still a quite pretty bird, huh? Yeah. Beautiful colors. Very noisy though. At one point during I think I mentioned that, but during a game drive, it was almost like they were doing a competition with the hardy-divers who could make the loudest noise. I think it was close. I'm not sure who won, but it was very loud.
Looks like you have a question from Karen, wondering how did you make it out on the wild ride through the bush in thickets this morning, going to see the leopards? Any new bush battle scars?
No, I managed to avoid them. I just got one little pick, but no, I managed to duck and dive, and just like Ali, maybe not floating like a butterfly, but but I managed to duck and dive a little bit. Maybe it's a bit more like George Foreman actually, rather than Muhammad Ali in his later days, when he was trying to sell the grill thingy. But no, I managed to avoid getting stuck. But yeah, this jig it can take you anywhere. It's amazing. Just if you can think of going there, you just go. It's amazing. Almost, I think at one point we went this steep upwards, and the first time Peter was going a bit too slow, so then the wheel started slipping, and then he went back and just bit more momentum, and up, there we go. That's good. Yeah, it looks like also we can switch back to the water hole. But I've noticed the last couple of days of the last week since the geese came back actually, because they were here I think a month ago or something like that, and they were basically just, as far as I've seen at least, just swimming and feeding. But now there's a lot more territorial display. There's two other geese that sometimes are a little bit further away and they quack at each other, and also now I think there might be some courtship rituals or just all these kind of little movements and things like that. So it's actually quite interesting to follow that, and also to see maybe that in future we might be able to find where they nest and their eggs, because little Egyptian goslings, they are very, very cute. We saw a couple when we were in Kruger actually during my last leave. Very, very cute. Time for some food. And this bird is quite widespread as well. We even see it in Holland as well. We call it a Nijlgans there, rather than Egyptian goose. Nijlgans translated means Nile goose, so there's the same origin, only we didn't name it after the country, but after the river that runs through it. But yeah, we do get it in Holland as well. I think I've got it on both my Dutch and my South African lists. I'm actually not sure if it's possible just from looking at them whether you can see which one is male and female, whether there's any external characteristics that would distinguish them. Do you know about it, Simon?
No.
It's actually... If you just chat for a bit, I'll fire up the PC and see if I can find something.
Yeah, okay, so Pete's gonna quickly look up to see if there's any way to determine sex visually on the Egyptian geese. Yeah, and just to kind of welcome any new viewers that might be tuning in right now. You're watching an episode of WeChat. This is the opportunity for you to chat with some of us here at Wild Earth TV. And yeah, ask us any questions. You can do so by either going onto the chat room, which is under the We Social Network. Under We Shows, go to WeChat, and just feel free to come in and ask us any questions. Or you can also send them to Final Control at wildearth.tv. Which that's where we are right now. I'm Simon, this is Pete right now, looking up how to see if you can visually tell the difference between male and female Egyptian geese, which we're seeing right here. Here's a pair. Alright, so it looks like Anna's seeing that she's read that the female is larger and the one that makes all the noise, the male only hisses. Thanks, Anna. We'll see how that is. Yeah. I know that in some species of birds, you really can't tell the sex without actually looking at their cloaca, or actually I think in the chat room at one point someone was saying that there's some species of birds that you actually have to kind of surgically be able to tell what sex they are to determine the sex. And I also just wanted to kind of comment. Pete was talking about the Giga and how amazing the vehicle is and can pretty much go anywhere. Yeah, that's what Rex told me on a couple of the drives that we saw a leopard and went through some interesting terrain. And Karen was just commenting that the tank, the old vehicle we had, it could not go into that deep sightings like that. Yeah, so it's definitely interesting going back from the tank. Yeah.
Apparently there is a small difference in the face. The female has a white face without any brown spots, and the male has a little bit of brown in the front of the face. So let's see if we can zoom in. It's probably this one, huh? 3, and spot that. Something you probably need to get a pretty good look at to be able to see that. Oh. So that would then probably be a female, if that is correct. So now let's see if the other one looks different. I must make sure that we go look at the different one, not the same one.